This is In Real Time. I'm Costa Maragos. It's great to have you with us. Let's talk about books for a moment. When's the last time you read a book by a Saskatchewan author? There are a lot of amazing selections out there. Well, Saskatchewan authors are being recognized in a big way thanks to an incredibly generous book award. The Glengarry Book Award is a $20,000 prize, and this is being administered through the Saskatchewan Foundation for the Arts. Gursh Barnard is the chair of the Board of Trustees for the board, and Gursh is with me. Hi, Gursh, how are you?
I am good, and it's so wonderful to be here with you.
Yeah.
Thank you for this opportunity.
It's great to see you again. How have you been doing?
Life is good. You know,
Yeah.
the arts keep us all busy,
Yes.
and when you volunteer for the arts, you know that it's such a feel-good type of culture and environment to be involved in. And in Saskatchewan, we are a hotbed of the most amazing artists in this country.
Oh, recognized well beyond our borders for sure. Well, this award is intriguing when I found out about it, so I had to bring you on the show. Tell me, what's it all about?
Well, the award's been about a year, 2 years in the making, through a very generous donation by Claire Kramer, a well-known, patron of the arts, philanthropist, art lover. She loves to read. She's a book lover. And she wanted to do something really unique and special. And she said, I want to make a difference in the life of a Saskatchewan author. Now, what's really interesting about this award, this prize in particular, is that it's not a grant, so it's not to write your next great big piece. It is to recognize something that you've already done. And the most unique part of all of this is that it is open nationally to authors who can demonstrate their roots and their connection to Saskatchewan. So in our conversations, Valerie Creighton and myself were very actively involved in our conversations with Claire Kramer. And Claire said, well, one of the things is that so many great Saskatchewan authors have moved to other parts of the country, and yet we need to reclaim those people as our own.
Sure.
So therefore, this became a little bit different in that we want to recognize the likes of so many that, for whatever reason, moved, East Coast, West Coast, that type of thing.
Sure, people move on from all other provinces as well. But here, when I was looking at this, it says, one of the terms here reference, you have to have produced a significant body of published work. So Saskatchewan authors are watching this saying, okay, do I qualify? What do you mean by significant body?
Well, for example, for this year, our deadline is September the 10th, and your book must have been published between January of 2020 and June of 2021.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Your book must have an ISBN number. It can't be self-published. Must be a minimum of 200 words. And when we say a significant body, that doesn't necessarily mean this is your 10th novel.
Right.
But it's a book of significance. It's already being recognized. And the book does not have to tell a story about the prairies or, life here. And we've seen such amazing stories being told. For example, The Englishman's Boy, or, Maggie Siggins wrote, some great stories that were very specifically Saskatchewan stories.
Sure.
But when we say significant, it's a book of significance. It's a novel of significance.
Wow. And who knows, $20,000 may inspire one of those authors to write another book, which is kind of nice too.
Yeah. Well, the difficult times that we've been through, and it's been hard as I speak with authors and connect with publishers across this country. One of the most difficult things is, writing in particular is such a solitary kind of an act. You sit there and you create this world, and then you put it in words on pages. So for many authors, when that book is published, that's their opportunity to get out there and shine and tell their stories. Unfortunately, because of the pandemic, lots of those book tours and those opportunities just didn't exist. You know?
For sure.
So I'm hoping that whoever wins or is awarded, I should say, our inaugural prize gets to do something great. And if nothing else, you know, perhaps it'll be, as you said, invest in the next big thing, or do something that recognizes all the hard work and the blood, sweat, and tears that went into that.
Just that recognition is
Yes.
such a nice gesture on the board's, on the Art Foundation's behalf. Let's talk about the Saskatchewan Foundation for the Arts. I think many in the arts community obviously know about this, but many in Saskatchewan don't. Tell me, how does this book award fit in with the mission of the foundation?
Great question, great question. So the Saskatchewan Foundation for the Arts receives no public funding. We do not receive any money from government. All of our funds are made through private donations by individuals who love the arts, want to support the arts. So we started in 1999 through an act in legislation. And then in 2005, the first board was formed. And it's actually kind of an interesting story. So if you have a minute, I'll share it with you.
We can go as long as we want, Gursh. It's just you and me talking, and people at home love it. So go ahead.
Well, if you were to visit our website,
Yes.
which is Sask
It's a wonderful
Arts Board.
website, by the way.
Yeah, we just launched it a month ago. It's still got a few little gremlins
But
that
it's
we're working
very
through.
easy to go through it, which is nice.
Yes, and that website was made possible through a donation by one of our very generous donors who said, your website, which was 15 years old, is terrible.
Yeah.
Let me give you some money, do something with it. So we worked very closely with H.J. Lennon, who have been amazing with us. And we're very grateful to, Harvey Lennon and Lynn Hamilton for all that they do. But Jane Turnbull Evans worked for the Saskatchewan Arts Board. And we have the most amazing relationship with the Arts Board. I actually served on the Arts Board way back, and Michael Jones from the Arts Board has been such a great supporter and huge help to us. So Jane Turnbull Evans worked at the Arts Board, and this was way back when Valerie Creighton was actually the executive director of the Arts Board. The province undertook an amazing consultation process where they brought through, and it was called the Arts Task Force, and a recommendation that came out of that was that into perpetuity, there should be a foundation that was independent of any kind of government funding, and that private individuals should be able to show their support for the arts. So away they went, and then it was very sad and untimely, but Jane Turnbull Evans was killed in a car accident. And after she passed, her husband, Richard Spafford, wanted to do something to recognize all the work that Jane had done, and she was so passionate about the formation of a foundation. So Richard Spafford, the likes of Richard and Claire Kramer was involved, Jackie Shumiacher, Lynn Goldman, some of the
Very
sort
familiar
of
names,
backbone
absolutely.
people of the arts, got together and they formed this board, this board of trustees. But honestly, it was all Richard Spafford's dream to recognize the work.
And the foundation is recognizing the authors with this $20,000 prize. There are other prizes that the foundation does bring offered as well, which I encourage people to go on the website, and you can see some, recognize people in the arts who have received prizes from the foundation. So that's a good thing too.
So we have, along with the Glengarry Book Award, we do have 6 other, we call them our legacy endowments. And again, these are people who have made significant contributions. People like the Colleen Bailey, Nick Kengels, you might remember. the Kangles.
Of course, the Kangle family. Absolutely. The Kangles.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So he left money and wanted to support the arts.
Yes.
We also have Bill Cherniak, who owns the Assiniboine Art Gallery, huge supporter of the arts. Richard Spafford himself, they have 2 endowments. One is called the Dick and Jane, which is adorable. And that one in particular is very near and dear to their heart. And then there's the Jane Turnbull Evans Fund. The only corporation as such is Cameco, and they have a great award. So we have 6 other awards, and for those awards, this year is a unique year for us. We typically give away 6 awards a year of $5,000 for those. But because of the pandemic last year, we were unable to get our juries together and things like this. So unique year, we will actually be awarding 12 awards, doubling up on each of those, to artists in Saskatchewan. And, for both the Glengarry and the Legacy Endowments, we have stripped down the application process. You go to our website, hit apply, pick where you want it. You can do it within an hour online.
Oh, that's so nice to see so many people just on their own supporting the arts in this way. Let's get back to the Glengarry Book Award. So once again, what's the deadline to apply?
The deadline is September the 10th.
Okay.
While the deadline for the Legacy Awards is not until October the 28th.
Oh, okay.
And we did actually have such a tremendous response that originally our deadline was going to be the middle of August. And then people said, please, can you extend it? I'm away. I'm at my cottage until, a long weekend. So hard deadline, September the 10th, midnight, Pacific time. So wherever you are in the country, squeeze out the day as much as we can. And then we will have a national jury, a jury made up of national and Saskatchewan people. The jury will be comprised of, the head of a jury, a consultant, and these will be a publisher, an author, book lover, right?
That's great.
And that will take us 2-3 months, depending on the number of applications, because each of those novels will get read.
Yes.
And then we'll have a short list. We are aiming for a short list by November. And a beautiful Christmas gift for somebody of $20,000 before the end of the year.
This is great, Gursh. It's so good of you to come on the program and talk about this and share this news. September 10th is the deadline, all you Saskatchewan authors, wherever you may be in the world. Gursh Barnard from the Saskatchewan Foundation for the Arts, thank you so much and all the best to you.
Thank you, Costa.